Good afternoon, a very warm welcome to Namur in Belgium for the Women's Elite UCI Cyclo-cross World Cup. Well, it wouldn't be Christmas without the Namur World Cup. We missed it last season. These are the standings after the round so far. Celine Del Carmen Alvarado is the leader, 60 points ahead of Lucinda Brandt. Round 8 today, Manon Bakker moved up into third place, courtesy of her performance last time. And as always, here on the Citadel, above Namur, a huge crowd is ready for the traditional lead-in to the festive period. It has a very special atmosphere, this place. The course is perhaps the most difficult of the season, and it always produces a fantastic race and a very, very worthy winner. We're about to bring the riders to the start line.
Lucinda Brandt, is this a main goal, this World Cup, for you?
Well, it's absolutely one of the races in the year that I'm really looking forward to. I didn't point it out as a main goal, but yesterday showed I had good legs, so I'm happy that I have good legs on this course.
How come you won here 4 times? What's the secret?
I don't know. I kind of fell in love. It's of course a very technical course, but it's also a lot about your physical abilities, and I think you need to know your body very well to be able to perform the whole course. So maybe that combination I'm quite good at.
Manon Bakker, after your win last week, you're riding now with another boost?
Yes, it's a totally different course, of course. There's no snow and a lot of more altitude meters. But it's a really good boost last week, and we'll see this week.
You see a track that suits you, or is it something you will discover this afternoon?
Probably not my best course, because there's a lot of altitude meters and I'm a little taller than most of the girls. So probably not the best course, but if it's muddy, I can still do something.
You're here to defend your first place in the GC. It won't be easy, because Van Empel isn't here, but all the others are here.
Yeah, it's of course it's never easy, but yeah, I think it will be a tough racing, not only with the course but also with the riders. So yeah.
You feel fresh because you didn't ride yesterday?
Well, fresh, I don't know. With 2 weeks of training camp in Spain, I will see how the legs will react today.
But your health is better now.
Yeah, much better.
Buck Petersen, with your mountain bike skills, you like it here, I presume?
For sure, it's one of my favorite courses of the year.
You didn't win this year. Is this something that bothers you?
Well, of course, I would like to win one of the upcoming races. So in that opinion, yes, of course, because I think everyone wants to win.
Your best friend Fem isn't here today. Is that another race then?
Maybe. You just see Fem is a really good starter, and really like after the first laps, you can really still push it really hard. So maybe today it will be a bit easier tempo, which makes for an interesting race, I hope.
Thank you.
The riders are ready. As you can see, everyone is ready and keyed up for this race, as always, because they know it's a pretty special place to be. Lucinda Brandt saying that she's fallen in love with this place. The reason for that is the atmosphere, but also the technicality of this course, and there is nowhere to hide at all. It purely comes down to your technical and physical ability on this course. Nothing else matters. You have to be right on your game. If you ever get the chance to come here and see this cross, it is something pretty special. You walk around the course and you wonder how the riders are able to ride half of the stuff that they do here. Well, we're calling the riders forward. 8 rows of the grid today, much better than the last couple of rounds. 59 riders on the start line, 26 of them under 23 riders. And we're not too far away from the start of round 8. I guess the only big name missing is Fem Van Empel. Van Empel won yesterday in the XTO cross in her rentals, but she's been pretty sick during the week and chose not to take to the race start today. Yesterday, Van Empel took her 10th cyclo-cross victory in a row, and it's a bit of a shame not to see her here in the World Cups. But I'm sure we're going to see her over the coming weeks as Manon Bakker takes her position on the front row.
Next one comes from Great Britain, one of the big talents in this cycling discipline with number 49, with the big round of applause.
Inge van der Heijden makes her way onto the front row of the grid. It is going to be an enticing one, isn't it? The names here. Shireen Van Anrooy is here. Blanca Vass is back. All the big names are on the front row of the grid as well. Very important here in Namur to get a very good start. Sun is out. It's chilly. You wouldn't know that from Zoe Backstead, though. She's wearing shorts on the start line. Hasn't kept her long leg warmers on. Straight in there, focused, ready, wants to have a good performance. I can remember days here in Namur where you are absolutely shivering all day. Today's not really like that. It's cold, but the sun is out. Jackets, leg warmers being thrown then to help us. Last moments for the coaches, the soigneurs and everyone to just help, and as always, plenty of fancy dress here in Namur as well. We'll spot the best one during the day. The countdown had started. Puck Peters, Dutch champion, 2 second places in the World Cup so far, needs a win. Alongside Leonie Bentveld, 3rd in Flamanville. World Cup leader under 23. Alongside her, Zoe Backstead, British champion. Backstead, 2 third places in this World Cup so far. There's the tyre choice. Alongside Zoe Backstead, winner last time, Manon Bakker of the Crelan Corendon team. Then it's the World Cup leader, 6 podiums, 2 wins. Podium here in 2019, Celine Del Carmen Alvarado. Alongside her, the Queen of Namur, 4 wins here, Lucinda Brandt. And the former under-23 world champion, 2 top 6s so far, Inge van der Heijden. Then we have Marie Schreiber, 2nd in Flamanville, Luxembourg champion. And on the 2nd row of the grid behind them, Shireen Van Anrooy, Anna-Marie Verst, Denise Betzemer, Katja Blanca Vass. Blanca Vass on the 3rd row of the grid. All focused, ready for round 8. 30 seconds until this race gets underway. The tape is drawn back. We're on red in Namur. We wait for green. We're underway. Round 8 of the UCI Cyclo-cross World Cup in Namur, and it's a power start. Look at the speed now as the riders come off that cobbled section and straight onto this uphill, and it is pure power all the way to the top of the climb of the Citadel, and you have to be absolutely on it from the off. Marie Schreiber, she's setting the tempo. Just behind her in second place, having a very good start, the Italian in yellow, Sara Casasola, who now takes over. Just behind Casasola, having a really good start, Alain Clauzel, the French rider. Zoe Backstead also having a good start. Not having such a good start is Lucinda Brandt. A massive, massive field of riders. So it's Casasola who crests the top of the Citadel from Schreiber, from Clauzel. Behind them is Inge van der Heide. And now fast downhill onto a muddy section. Casasola setting some fierce tempo right from the off. Got to take risks on this course as well. Measured risks are important. Blanca Vass having a good start. So it's Casasola from Schreiber, from Inge van der Heide, from Blanca Vass, who's come from the third row of the grid into fourth place. Puck Peters makes her way on the inside, wearing number 3. Alain Clauzel, Zoe Backstead, Celine Del Carmen Alvarado. Just behind her, Alicia Franck. Schreiber goes to the side there. Inge van der Heide. And a number of riders having to run this particular section. Sydney McGill having another good start. Oh, and a problem for Puck Peters. And she has got a major issue here. The chain is off, and that's cost us some time. Casasola, happy to just go out and try and stretch this race, give herself a little bit of distance. Brand is starting to move up now. And there's Casasola as we now go fast downhill, and this is really quick through here. Not too muddy. It's kind of hard-packed mud today. Casasola into this little tricky section with the kickback. Accelerates hard out there to make everybody just suffer a little. Let's just take another look here. There must have been a problem for a rider. Casasola out of the saddle, and an immediate attack on the right-hand side. And Celine Del Carmen Alvarado has decided, let's kick on now into the pits for Puck Peters. Peters comes out just behind Sydney McGill. You can see how that performance of Sydney McGill last time out, the Canadian, has suddenly elevated that motivation, that morale onto the steps. And right now, the riders have had hardly any respite from what is a really difficult start, and you're immediately onto these steps. Really makes the legs feel like jelly. Alvarado really kicking on through that turn superbly. Took a different line to everyone else so far. And now she really goes full on. Didn't ride yesterday, chose to have a little bit of a rest. She's kind of measuring her performance and focusing on the World Cups. There's Puck Peters. Yesterday then, in her rentals, we had a victory for Van Empel ahead of Lucinda Brand. Then it was Anna-Marie Verst. Then Denise Betsema having a great performance in fourth place. And then behind her having a really strong performance. Her best performance for a while, Anna Kay, the British rider. Now this is really tricky down here. You need to find a line and a little bit of speed. And Alvarado took it a lot more with gusto than everybody else. There's Brand. McGill making her way down there quickly, running, which was a good choice. There's the current runnings for second place. Real concentration on these riders' faces. So last year we didn't have Namur. The year before we did, and it was won by Brand ahead of Betsema, and then Puck Peters was in third. Behind her that time was Fem van Empel, then Alvarado, then Elaine Clausel. There's Shireen van Anrooy making her way through. Oh, and a fall there for Zoe Backstead as she hit the sandbags at the bottom. Alvarado starting to open up. A nice gap here, 11 seconds already. Seems to be in a different race at this moment compared to the others. Mr. Sola has a big problem there, and she was lucky. She was able to jump off the bike and didn't topple over. So Inge van der Heide having a good race. There's loads of rocks under this course as well. It's not an easy course to ride. The leg speed of Alvarado up that little climb. She's been training in Spain the last couple of weeks. So she'll have had some nice hot weather training. And it certainly doesn't seem to have caused any problems with the leg speed as far as cyclocross is concerned. Be careful down there. There's one line, then you go flying down to the bottom. Alvarado's already out of sight. There's Elaine Clausel, and this is Puck Peters. Inge van der Heide racing onto the wheel. There's no holding this rider back, is there? Long uphill section now. Bit of a trudge. Alvarado just seems to have that speed in the legs today, running and riding, just picking the toes up nicely. Picking her way up there, loads of power in the run as well. She's already opened up 15 seconds on Peters, 17 on van der Heide, that's the rider in green and white. And then everybody else is kind of locked together in combat. Coming up to the end of lap 1, 2.4 kilometers. Alvarado goes through. An 8:08 lap. It'll be corrected, so it is corrected to an 8:08 lap. Behind her, Peters at 15, Brand at 17, Van der Heide at 18, then Schreiber, then Bentveld comes across the line, then Casasola. This race is certainly not over. You just need to be able to keep the bike together, as we've seen from Peters. There's loads of rocks under the surface of the mud. And now we're getting that ascendance of the real cream of class at the top. Brand and Peters now starting to get into their strides. Schreiber into the pits. Bentveld as well on the left-hand side. Casasola comes through. Here's Shireen van Anrooy. Blanca Vass onto her bike. She changes bike on the left-hand side. Now, it looks like Peters and Brand are starting to hunt the leader down a little. And we've seen this already in World Cups earlier in the season. Brand will refuse to give in. She's won this cross so many times. Sassola rocking and rolling a little. This is a lovely shot, isn't it? Drone shot through the trees. You don't get closer to the action than this. What an absolutely wonderful shot. Gives you such a great idea of the technical expertise of this class bike rider. Oh, we're right on track, aren't we? Gives you an idea of how she has to right herself and change her vision too into that sunlight. And now uphill. A bit muddy up here, but still manages to ride that entire section. Managed to get some power through, find a little bit of traction. And then underneath the bridge, through that left-hand turn then for Alvarado. Now it's fast downhill. See the way she's choosing her line. What an absolutely fantastic bit of camera work. That was pretty special to be able to do that. Well, the gap is still similar, 14 seconds. Peters and Brand. Now, if they can work together, they may well be able to start to close the gap. Hook Peters really wants this first win of the season. Just to pick out some other riders for you. So Sydney McGill in 10th place at this moment for Canada. Blanka Vas, the Hungarian, in 11th. Zoe Backstead of Great Britain in 12th. A little bit further down, Anna Kay of Great Britain in 19th. Denise Betzemer down in 17th. Manon Bakker down in 16th. Although, as we know, this is not really a course for Manon Bakker. Further on down, the American rider, Mia Asseltine, 45th place for her. And a number of other Canadian riders. Kathleen Walcroft in 50th, Madeleine Pollock in 53rd, Mia de Martin in 54th place. Still 13 seconds. Don't forget, if you'd like to get in touch today, at UCI_cycling is the place to always follow all the action. That gives you all the lists of riders and everything else on the cyclocross area of UCI.org if you want to follow. And don't forget to message me at @McCrossan is where you can get hold of me on social media. There's Brands. Here comes Peters then, still holding it at 14 and having real problems on this descent, which for such an amazing mountain biker gives you an idea of just how hard this little section is. Zoe Backstead not having the best of starts, down in 12th. She said before the start she liked the course, the mud really sticky. She said she was looking forward to racing it though, but a bit nervous because she hadn't raced for 3 weeks. This is Brandt, 3rd place. Can the Queen of Namur come back to catch Alvarado? It's a massive ask right now. Alvarado just seems to be able to ride sections that no one else can. And at that point jumps off. But even then, when she dismounts, she's still got that speed, that poise and that focus to be driving forward. There's Peters. Slow motion, just showing how much he's getting bounced around on this Namur course. We're on lap 2 in Namur. It's got such a rich history, and when you come here it does feel like the festive period, because down in the town of Namur it's a beautiful little place. We're in the capital of Wallonia. Look at the different ways in which, oh, and another problem for Puck Peters, shoe problem this time. Slots in behind Brand. So we're in Wallonia, the capital of the area. Population of Namur is about just under 111,000 people. And this citadel has seen battles before, built in the Middle Ages, but you can date back the original citadel to the Roman times around about 937. And there's 4 citadels in the Meuse region, 4 of them in this area, 1 in Liège, 1 at the Mur de Huy, 1 in Dinan, and 1 at Namur. So it's those 4 citadels that used to protect this particular area. Brand trying to find a little bit of speed as Peters goes to the front yet again. 6 laps of racing we're going to have. These two are side by side and they're pushing each other on now as we see the leading rider come to the end of lap 2. Celine del Carmen Alvarado safely through. It was a steady lap, that one. An 8:38 lap that time, compared to 8:08 for the opener. But it is a slightly longer section. And now Brand starts to make a move. They're at 20 seconds. They've lost 6 seconds on Alvarado on that lap. Brand's lap time at 8:40, Peters 8:46. Around this area, you kind of loop around Hospitality, and also in this area you get the wafting smell of frites as they are cooked. I don't know how many frites Namur sells on this particular Sunday, but it must be immense. So Brand and Peters locked together, 3 and 4 as far as their numbers are concerned. We're on to lap number 3 for Celine del Carmen Alvarado. That little stat telling you there's been 11 stops in pit number 1 so far. Considering how many riders there are, 59 riders. It's not too many pit stops. We'll see how many we've had in pit 2. Slow motion shots of these riders as they get bumped around on this Namur course. That opening 8:08 for Alvarado was obviously from the start area, and it is a lot shorter on lap 1. Lap 2's an 8:38, so that average speed for Alvarado, 18.07 kilometers an hour. Don't forget, after this, over the festive period, we have Antwerp and Gavert as well, as we go back onto our drone shots with Brand and Peters. Proper video game stuff, this. Peters on the front. Brand, you can see, just sitting in the slipstream, waiting for her turn. And if these two riders can contain this effort and work together, then at least they're getting a little bit of a rest on those little sections we were just looking at. Slightly uphill now. Peters seems to have a little bit more speed on these tough little kickers. And here's Alvarado. He's through that Complete 180 turn and makes her way back downhill, and this is fast downhill. You come from the top of the Citadel all the way down to the next level. She makes it look so easy, but it's definitely not. 21 seconds now. She's taking a little bit more time. Current top 6, Celine del Carmen Alvarado, Puck Peters, Lucinda Brandt, Inge van der Heide having a good race today in 4th, Shireen van Anrooy in 5th, and Marie Schreiber in 6th place. The rest of the top 10, Leonie Bentveld, Elaine Clausel, Sarah Casasola and Anna-Marie Verst. Blanca Vass outside the top 10 now, so is Zoe Backstead. Anna Kay having the best World Cup of this season for her in 13th. The other way, Alvarado comes trudging up that particular climb. Nice fast drop off then. There's Peters up the steps. Follows that. Well, this Citadel cross dates back to, for the women, 2009. It was first won by Daphne van der Brandt, ahead of Pavla Havlikova, and Helen Wyman was in 3rd place in the first edition of this race. You go 2 years forward, and Marianne Vos was the winner in 2011. She beat Lucy Chanel Lefebvre and Katie Compton into 2nd and 3rd. It does suit a mountain bike style rider. For example, Katarina Nash won in 2014, the rider from the Czech Republic who does so much now for the UCI as a vice president on that, the various different commissions, in particular working a lot on the Athletes Commission. Katarina Nash won in 2016 ahead of another mountain biker, Eva Lechner, and Sophie de Boer in 3rd place. And Sophie de Boer has just announced that she's coming back to gravel racing. That will be for the 2024 season. Another mountain biker won in 2017, Evie Richards, ahead of Nikki Brameyer and Eva Lechner in 3rd place. So it just shows you riders who are good on the different disciplines, on the mud and the grit and the gravel. It really does suit them well. The mountain bikers in particular are really good on this course. There's a lot of climbing. Inge van der Heide, been caught now by Leonie Bentveld. There's Shireen van Anrooy in the blue and red of Baloise Trek Lions. The Luxembourg champion just behind. Here's Casasola. Hear the crowd along here. It's so fantastic to watch, isn't it? Because the atmosphere is just something special. Alvarado with the fastest lap ahead of Lucinda Brand in 2nd with an 8:40.5 in 2nd place, and then Puck Peters on 8:46.8. Brand is just trying to take a little bit of initiative here and see if she can get a bit more speed, but it's just not happening. Alvarado holding this at 19 seconds. See how hard Brand is having to work to stay on the wheel of Puck Peters. Alvarado just took a little look before she hit the drop off there. And the more tired you get on this course, you just need to nail your point, think, right, okay, that's where I'm pointing the bike. We've seen on occasion before where riders get one of these drop-offs wrong. Puck Peters has taken a totally different line to Alvarado. This adverse camber section, such a feature of this Namur course. You're trying to stay as high as you possibly can. just keep the pace going. And Namur reversed, had a good day yesterday, not such a great day today as far as the top 3 or 4 is concerned, but she's in the top 10. Coming up to the end of this lap. Alvarado crosses the line after 7.6 kilometers. Let's see what the gap is going to be. It was 20 seconds last time. Oh, and a problem. Little crash there for Aniek van Alphen. Oh, and another little slide. Random pieces together.
We hebben nog 3 rondjes voor de boeg. 3 ronden wedstrijd hebben we nog af te werken. Alvarado passeert de aankomst in de wedstrijd. Op 18 seconden dubbel Pieterse brand. Hij wacht aan de finish op de 4e renster in de wedstrijd.
Here is Alvarado then, as we watch her reach the climb again. Crossing the line, Van Anrooy there at 1:16, Schreiber, Casasola, Bentveld as well. Can these two close the gap? Alvarado just seems to have that momentum nicely, doesn't she? Just keeping the spinning of the legs over, making it look easy. And we're back following her downhill. Look at the way she just shifts those shoulders. Out the saddle all the way down there, just letting the bike bounce. Now she gets into power mode. Really churning those pedals over, and there's no sign of suffering from any cold after coming back from Spain. Uphill section, stays to the right-hand side, stays out of that channel, and then moves over to the left so that she can get up this climb the shortest possible way. Really low pressure in the tyres today. You've got to be a bit careful because there's so many rocks under the surface in Namur. You can see as you just pick out some of the rocks at the end of that muddy section. You've got to have a balance and get some air in the tyres. You also don't want these rock impact punctures either. Still 17 seconds between the groups. Can Peters do anything about bringing this gap down a little bit? Into the pits for Alvarado this time. Nice clean bike, 18 seconds. It's not that you need to change every time on these laps, because it's kind of sticky mud. It's not clogging really badly to the bike, but where possible, just take on a nice clean bike. It will feel lighter when you're carrying it as well. Comes up the steps nicely there. So let's take a look at the fastest laps. Peters has now got the fastest lap. 8:37.3 for Puck Peters, 18.09 kilometers an hour. Alvarado in second. She's 0.7 down on the fastest lap. Just about makes it through that turn. Lucinda Brand on lap 2 was 17.98. And Casasola has got the 4th fastest lap. Lap number 3 for her, 17.32 kilometers an hour. Little skid there by Alvarado around that turn. The current top 10 then: Alvarado, from Peters, from Brand, from Van der Heide, from Casasola, from Schreiber, Bentveld, Clausel, Annemarie Verst, Lauren Verdonschot. That's our top 10. Blanca Vass is starting to fade away a little. 13th place now for Blanca Vass. Brand goes to the front. The way the shoulders are rocking here, she's putting in. So much pace, but this to me looks like it might start to come down a little. Thanks very much for all your messages, Drew. Nice to hear from you today. Hope you're enjoying today's cross. You'll notice now some riders getting lapped here. So Alvarado has to pick her way through. Would normally be taken out. That was Victoria Dahler of Germany. She'll be removed from the race next time. Normally the 80% rule applies and the commissaires pull riders out, but this course is so difficult to work out. And now Brand is going forward. This is a real movement now by Lucinda Brand. Peters has suddenly lost a little bit of time. Alvarado, uphill, now needs to keep the pressure on. We're on lap 4 of 6. Puck Peters looks to be suffering a bit now. This course can just grab you at some point. You can go into the red and never return. Onto what is a really steep uphill section. Lucinda Brand is making a real forced effort now to go forward and try and win this race. 18 seconds. Can Lucinda Brand start to turn the pressure on Celine Del Carmen Alvarado? She knows exactly how to win this race. The question is whether she's got it in the legs today to do it. But Brand last time out, she beat Betsema and Peters. The time before, she beat the American Clara Honsinger and Denise Betsema. End of lap 4. And it's Alvarado crosses the line in the lead. An 8:43 lap, so just 1 second slower than the previous. Oh, and a crash here for Shireen Van Anrooy. And a little shaken. We didn't see what happened. Brand comes across the line. It's 17 seconds. Fast lap, 8:41 lap for Brand. Behind her, Peters has suddenly lost 8 seconds. Brand now posts a fast lap. She is starting to turn the heat up.
And she has 26 seconds.
Has Brand got enough in those legs? Here comes Puck Peters. Has Peters actually got a puncture or something? She may well have. It looks... Nope, she goes onto another bike. I don't know if that back tyre was a little bit flat, or whether the fuel tank is a bit empty. 2 more laps to go. The way that the bike just bounces, it has a life of its own on this course. Brand with that familiar style, every single pedal stroke is pushed to get as much power through the entire pedal stroke as possible. Puck Peters has the fastest lap, lap 3, 18.09 kilometers an hour. That hasn't changed. Alvarado seems to have got the message that Brand is starting to make a move, and now she starts to push. After 4 minutes, Celine Del Carmen Alvarado attacked. She's been on the attack solo now for 32 minutes of effort. We're on board now, following Lucinda Brand downhill. As she finds the speed through these turns, accelerates hard along this little section. Brand trying to use her speed as a road rider on these particular fast sections to just try and close the gap a little bit, if that's at all possible. But it looks to me like Alvarado has been given that information. Brand has gone 8:40, 8:42, 8:41 the last few laps. Alvarado has gone 8:38, 8:42, 8:43, so they're very, very close in terms of lap time. Brand almost touching her hip on that pad as she went through. Just trying to find the fastest line round every turn. Now Brand gets onto the fast section, letting the bike through the turns. The gap between her and Peters is now 9 seconds. The top 10, Alvarado, Brand, Peters, Inge van der Heide, that's just changed. Casasola's gone into 4th, van der Heide in 5th, Bentveld in 6th, Schreiber in 7th, Verst in 8th, and Vass is now in 9th. And making a move, Anna Kay in 10th place, which is her best performance in a World Cup for a number of years. There's the gap to Peters. Very wet through this section, past the pit area. Whoa, that was close, wasn't it? Into that little section. Alvarado kicks again. She's opened up even more of an advantage. Well, Brand decided to try and put her under pressure. And like the champion she is, she goes flying ahead and starts to open up even more of a gap. It's almost like she's just measured her effort out there. Brand unbeaten here in the last 4 editions. Thanks for getting in touch at Macrosson, Coach Justin, Hendrik Lemmer and others. Thanks for your messages. Brand and Alvarado lighting up the front of the race. Update on the Canadian rider Sydney McGill, drops down to 17th place now. Zoe Backstead dropping down to 22nd place. Not her day at all today. It's going to be some tired riders at the end of the Citadel Cross. As I mentioned earlier, if you ever get the chance to come here, come on the Saturday or the Friday, go to the Christmas market down in Namur itself, enjoy the festivities, then make your way up to the Citadel on the Sunday morning, watch all the other races because there's the under-23s and the juniors. Orgy of frites and enjoy the atmosphere and just join up with all these thousands of people who are around this course. Alvarado starting to lap even more riders. Brand jumps off the bike just in time. Liking that little camera shot at the end of that adverse camber where we're seeing the rider in super slow-mo. Gives us a real impression of how that rider is feeling. As Alvarado's about to catch another rider in front, which we don't see too often. Siobhan Kelly of Canada about to be lapped. Brand over the top. Leah and Alex, thanks very much for being in touch. Hope you're enjoying the racing. And Hilke van Helden as well. Thank you for your messages at UCI_cycling, at Antmacrossen is where you can get in touch. This is, for me, one of the best cyclocross races in the world. It's just so different. The best rider wins. As long as they have no problem with the bike, it's all about the legs and your ability to take a few risks. Just look how steep this hill is. When you come into the base of it, you look up, it's like a wall rearing up in front of you. End of lap 5, BEL lap, Celine Del Carmen Alvarado. Consistency is key on this course. Another 8:43 lap. She's gone 8:38, 8:42, 8:43, 8:43. Alvarado is right on it today. Casasola now in 5th. Here comes Lucinda Brand. She was at 18 seconds last time. She's lost time. This race is going away. It's at 33 now. So despite the momentum of Brand, it's coming to nothing because Alvarado has just picked up her power and kept her relentless pressure on. Onto the climb again. And if you ever come here, what you can't believe is just how steep this little climb is, off the cobbles, onto the mud. And it just climbs all the way up. Brand, new bike. Alvarado, the work rate is strong. Left, right, left, right. Brand coming into the climb now. Alvarado's already over it. The final push to the top. Brand decides to get out the saddle. For the first time in 5 editions, Brand will be beaten on this course by the looks of things. She's made this Citadel her own. Lovely shot there as she makes her way through that particular section. The sunlight's just starting to drift away behind the buildings at the top. Here comes Puk Peters. And appreciative applause for the leader. Fastest lap of the race, Puk Peters on lap 3, 8:37.3. Alvarado on lap 2, 8:38 exactly. Brand's fastest lap, lap 2. Casasola with the 4th fastest lap. That was on lap 3 as well. Let's run through the top 10 as we watch Alvarado powering away past that section. Alvarado leads ahead of Brand, who's just on an 8:58 lap, really suffered on that lap then. 17 seconds slower on that lap compared to the previous one. So it's Alvarado from Brand, from Peters. Peters not too far behind now, only 7 seconds. Then it's Casasola moving away into 4th place. A fantastic performance from Casasola. We've already seen her take a 4th place in Troyes. Then it's Inge van der Heide in 5th place. Van der Heide's had a couple of 5th places so far. She finished 5th in Troyes, 5th in Dublin, and finished 4th in Maasmechelen. And Marie Schreiber's in 6th place. Then it's Leonie Bentveld, Annemarie Verst. Blanca Vass has recovered back into 9th place for Blanca Vass. Then it's Elaine Clausel. The fans of Sydney McGill, after her outing last time, 17th place for her, 22nd place for Zoe Backstead here in Namur. Peters consolidating this 3rd place. She's not in any danger. Brand is in a little bit of danger of losing 2nd to Peters, though. Over 44 minutes solo for Alvarado so far. Peters is giving this everything she can now to try and get 2nd place. 8 seconds between her and Brand. Brand in a much higher gear, as you can see. But this rider has gone out, attacked early, and no one has seen her ever again. A procession as far as she's concerned. Not an easy procession. This is brutal, this course. Peters is not too far behind now. This is starting to look interesting. She can see Brand. Lucinda Brand looks to be in that real hurt at this precise moment in time. Peters has got a bit of a carrot to chase. Alvarado trying to stay high. Doesn't want to get off that bike too early. Sprints her way through that section. Casasola still being hunted by Inge van der Heide. She's only 3 seconds behind. There she is. So 4th place, not secure for the Italian. There has been a season of emergence, though, for Sara Casasola. Peters looking for a little bit of speed to try and get back to this wheel. Brand gets to that section now, gets the bike on the shoulder, starts the run. Peters is going to try and go as far as she can go into there. Over 50 minutes of racing. And Alvarado is getting ready to celebrate. Peters on the other side. As she goes downhill, Peters goes up. Onto this really steep section, and Peters now makes a move, and she's coming back and looking for second. Brand took a little bit of a glance around and realised Peters was there. There was a sudden bit of, wow, where does she come from? Alvarado uphill, bits of tree hanging off the bike, and Brand is now giving this everything, and Peters is firing to try and take second place away from Lucinda Brand. Peters goes flying into the base. Now she's going to sprint her way up this climb, and here at the finish line though, Celine conquers the Citadel. Alvarado wins in Namur. 47 minutes solo. Here's the sprint. Peters has caught Brand. Flat out now for the finish line. She's caught her on the line. Brand thumps the handlebars. Peters takes second. Brand is furious with that. What a finish. Alvarado wins for the first time in Namur. Here comes Sara Casasola looking to get fourth place in Namur. Just ahead of Van der Heide in fifth place, just behind her. Now onto this run-up that proved the undoing of Brand. Peters has produced some final lap. Just to give you an idea, 8:33 for the final lap from Peters. What a ride. The fastest lap of the race by 5 seconds by Puck Peters. Puck Peters went incredibly deep there to try and find some more tempo, and find it she did. Casasola sprinting her way up this last rise. Nearly there now. It feels like an eternity, this lap. Van der Heide and Schreiber. Casasola finishes in fourth place to go with her fourth place in Troyes. Here comes Inge van der Heide. Behind her is Marie Schreiber. And a great performance there to take sixth is Schreiber, then Wurst. And it's Leonie Bentfeld. She's going to take 8th place today. Some recovery time needed. Checking over her shoulder. Looking for her place, Anna Kay. But the battle now for 9th place is won by Verdonschot from Helene Clausel. Then it's Blanca Vass, shakes her head in 11th. 12th place for Anna Kay. First time we've seen Anna Kay back at this sort of level for a while. Here's the moment where Brand and Peters went shoulder to shoulder. Look at Peters, 8:33 the final lap. Look at the way she ripped it up that final climb. Into that final section, Peters went on the inside. Second place for Peters, third place for Brandt. Behind them now, 13th place for Manon Bakker, 14th for this rider, Shireen van Anrooy. A race that will be firmly etched in the memory for most people. It's such a tough bike race. This is Denise Betzemer. She's going to be in 15th, 4 minutes 38 down. The sprint between Sydney McGill and Aniek van Alphen is won by Sydney McGill. McGill finishes there in, what, 16th place, then Van Alphen in 17th en Valentina Corvi.
Maar toen knalde ik echt hard onderuit. Ik heb er gewoon een minuut gezeten.
Waar zit hij gevallen? Want ik heb beeld gezien. Maar
Zo'n stijlknikje naar beneden, maar ik nam gewoon hetzelfde spoor. Maar ik ging net over een stukje boom.
We're going to hear shortly from Celine Del Carmen Alvarado as we watch Shireen van Anrooy just riding away there. The winner today.
Celine
Here
Alvarado,
she is.
Congratulations. This was, for me, a little demonstration.
Yeah, I think so. I didn't expect to be this good or to take such a gap for the whole race. I was quite nervous before the race and I don't know, it went really well.
You were immediately there, like Mathieu van der Poel yesterday.
Yeah, I saw that Puck had chain problems in the beginning and Lucinda was a bit behind. So, I just took the opportunity full gas and, I'm happy that I rode that way.
Little mistakes, so no problem to win here.
Yeah, indeed. I wanted to win here for years before and, this is my first time winning here, so it's a really special one.
Thank you. Celine Del Carmen Alvarado, wat een schitterende overwinning, een prachtige demonstratie zelfs.
Ja, inderdaad. Ik ben hier wel heel blij mee. Ik had niet verwacht dat het zo ging gaan van tevoren. Omdat ik toch wel een vermoeide week heb gehad. En gisteren dan niet fit genoeg om dubbel weekend te rijden. Dus ja, ik ben echt heel blij dat het zo is gegaan.
Heeft jouw frisheid een beetje in jouw voordeel gespeeld vandaag?
Goh, wie weet. Ik had vanaf ronde 3 zat ik wel echt à blok en echt kapot. En dat was gewoon proberen de klimmetjes vol te rijden en de rest gewoon een beetje pacen. Want ik had wel 2 hardrijders achter me aan. En ik denk dat die extra dag van gisteren toch net dat tikkeltje meer heeft gegeven voor vandaag, zeker.
En als je alleen rijdt vooraan, kun je lijnen kiezen, hè? Niet onbelangrijk hier misschien?
Nee, absoluut niet. Het was hard rijden, maar ook wel technisch ook wel heel erg alert blijven met al die wortels en zo. En ik denk dat ik technisch een vrij foutloze cross heb gereden.
Ik wilde dat net vragen. Heb je eigenlijk fouten gemaakt vandaag?
Ja, weinig. Was toch niet te zien, denk ik.
Dat is waar. Is de wereldbeker nu min of meer binnen? Of zeg je nee, dat is nog veel te vroeg?
Nee, er kan natuurlijk nog van alles gebeuren. Er komen nog wel wat wedstrijden aan. En ik denk dat ik zeker wel tot het einde blijf strijden voor de eindzege.
Dank je wel en nog eens proficiat.
Dank je wel.
Unexpected victory by Celine Del Carmen Alvarado. Was it really unexpected? Nervous though. Hook Peters just talking about her shoes again, I think. She's had some problems with those today. Alvarado a little bit nervous before the start, but sometimes that knowledge, the nerves are there. It just helps you drive on a little bit more. There was no freezing, was there? She was absolutely flying. Fastest lap though, Puck Peters. Second fastest lap, Celine Del Carmen Alvarado. Congratulated by her mum. We're going to hear from Puck Peters.
Puck Peters, you have a story to tell, I think, today.
My start up the hill was quite good. I think I was in second or third position, and then my chain went off first, so I had to put it on, and I also couldn't shift anymore to my outer ring. So there was I tried to overtake as much people in the descent. I think I wasn't really nice to people, but it was quick. Switched bikes, and then I started the pursuit to Ceylin and to the front again. And then I think in the second lap I picked up Lucinda, and we were together. Then I got a little gap, but like my boa went loose. It didn't come out; it just went loose. So unfortunately, I had to stop, make it up again. It's all little things that cost a few seconds, of course. And then I think the last 2 laps, Ceylin suddenly got a really, really big gap, and I started to shrink a bit. But then, luckily, in the last lap, I could pull together again. I think, the fighting spirit was definitely there today.
And there was a nice battle with Lucinda to maybe take a little bit of the gap in front for Ceylin, or didn't you believe in the victory today?
Of course I believed, but then when Ceylin suddenly had like 30 seconds, I knew it would become really hard, because at first I came closer and closer, and when you can see her riding, it's easier to really push through it. And then suddenly we didn't see her anymore. And of course I knew like a mistake on this loop is really easily made, or a flat tire or anything. You see, like in the last lap I could close, I think, 12 seconds still on Lucinda. So it's always been possible. But Ceylin was, I think, today one step better than the rest.
And then the young one wins the sprint for second place?
Yeah, I don't know, like Lucinda and I both had one time where we went really bad on the off-camber, because I saw her struggling and I was like, if I do it now really well, then I'm there. But then you also struggle, of course. But then in the last lap, I think we were quite as fast as each other, and then I just decided to sprint, like it was really into the running section that I got it back, I think. And then I knew, you had to be first in the last corner. And Lucinda was in front after the running bit, but like I wasn't clicked in, but I could just overtake her for that, and then the sprint had already been ridden.
Thank you.
She always gives such an insightful interview, doesn't she? Loads of detail. 12 seconds she takes back in the last lap.
25 minutes or something like that. At 3:10, we will have the start of our
Problems all the way through the race for this rider. Chain, gears, shoes, but no problem with the legs. Bit of an emotional Aniek van Alphen and Zoe Backstead as well. Sometimes it just doesn't go to plan. This course finds you out. If you're just not on 100% form, there is no hiding place. Smiles from Sydney McGill, though. For those of you wondering where Maghalie Rochette is, the other Canadian rider who's normally around the top places, Maghalie's gone back to Canada to have a little bit of a reset. If you get the chance, actually, to read Maghalie Rochette's weekly newsletter, subscribe to that, because it's fantastic. She gives you real insight as to every race that she does, and she said she had to go back to Canada. She just wanted to reset the season. Things were not going her way. And I think it takes a certain kind of rider to be able to have the mental strength to decide to do that. Highlights of round 8 of the UCI Cyclo-cross World Cup for women here in Namur. A very fast start and a power surge to the top of the climb. Sara Casasola set the early tempo. At this point in the race, Puk Peters was in a really strong position, but then the chain came off. And then the gears wouldn't work after that. Peters losing a considerable amount of time. After 4 minutes of racing, Celine Del Carmen Alvarado decided to go clear. And from that point on, she was never seen again. Peters fought valiantly. Out in the front, she tried to come back to Alvarado on numerous occasions. But at the end of every lap, Alvarado was hovering around about 20 seconds of a lead. She had everything in her stride today, Alvarado. Brand and Peters rode together for the majority of the race. Problems with the shoe for Puck Peters. Brand then attacked Puck Peters and went forwards. Brand has won on this circuit 4 times running. But even once riders started to come back and close the gap a little bit on Alvarado, she just continued with this relentless punishment. She wins at the Citadel, her first win in Namur. Behind, though, there was a thrilling finish for second and third as Peters put in the fastest lap of the race. And despite Brand getting through the first turn, the key turn was taken by Peters to a really annoyed Lucinda Brand. Fastest lap of the race puts Peters into second place. We're waiting for the podium presentation of this round of the UCI Cyclo-cross World Cup. But before we go there, we're going to hear from the third place rider, Lucinda Brand, on her thoughts on today's race.
Can you live with this third place today?
No, I was very stupid, so I'm a bit angry on myself.
What happened in the first lap?
The first lap, because my start was not sublime. Then you're a bit blocked between all the riders. I always know, like, I cannot from zero go full gas on this climb, but it's handy if you have a little bit space to move up, and I didn't. But I always try to stay calm because I know if I find my rhythm, it's fine. But yeah, Celine for sure was super, super strong today. I don't know if I was more in front in the start, if I would have been able to beat her. But yeah, with third, I cannot live.
And what happened then at the end?
So yeah, on the end, I think when I knew I could not get Celine anymore, I maybe did a bit too much on safe. And I knew Puck was then in my wheel on the last hill. And I just didn't close the corner enough, so it's yeah, very easy. I can't turn around it, and at my age, I think you should know that.
Thank you. Lucinda Brand, het is een groene lach, denk ik.
Ja, ja, als dat Vlaams is, ja, het is met kiespijn inderdaad, ja.
Wat is er allemaal gebeurd? Eerste ronde ook start, minder dan wat we van jou gewoon zijn.
Ja, ik kan hier nooit zo heel goed starten, maar ik zakte wel iets verder weg dan dat handig is hier. Dus dan duurt het iets langer voor je echt ruimte hebt om je ding te kunnen doen. En Celine had een super goede dag vandaag, dus die was al heel snel weg. En half koers dacht ik wel dat we zo met Puck zo steeds dichterbij kwamen. En dat ik het begon te dichten. Maar toen vond Celine haar tweede licht of zo. En toen had ze echt een supersnelle klim. En ja, vergrootte ze het gat in 1 stuk. Dus toen wist ik wel dat ik er niet meer bij ging komen.
Voel jij op het einde van de race dat je gisteren heel diep bent gegaan?
Nou, ik denk vooral in het begin dat ik daar dan wat moeite mee heb. En natuurlijk gewoon over zijn algeheelheid voel ik dan misschien een klein beetje. Maar je kan nooit weten hoe je je hier voelt als je gisteren niet gekoerst hebt. Dus ja, dat moet je ook niet te veel aan denken.
Heb je op het eind voor jezelf foutjes gemaakt?
Ja, ik denk niet dat ik een goede laatste ronde rijd. Dat ik die schuine kant dan wat minder ver kom als ik wil. En dat je dan weet dat Puck goed mikpunt heeft en tot in je wiel komt. Dus nog tot daaraan toe. Maar ja, ik moet dat natuurlijk daar altijd op een goede manier dicht houden. Ik kom als eerste boven, dan kan je dat eigenlijk niet meer uit handen geven. En dat gebeurt wel, dus ja, dat is niet handig.
Ben je nu echt ontgoocheld of boos op jezelf?
Heel boos op mezelf, ja. Ja, zeker. Weet je, je wordt liever tweede dan derde. En het was niet nodig, vooral.
Maar je rijdt alle cross een podium. Dat is toch een mooi seizoen tot nu toe voor jou?
Ja, nee, zeker. Het is schitterend. En als je mij van het begin van het seizoen had gezegd dat ik hier niet tevreden was met 3... dan zou ik je misschien voor gek verklaard hebben. Maar goed, dat is dan ook heel mooi. En dat is wel misschien ook de sporter in ons dan.
Geniet er toch maar van die derde plaats. En bedankt voor de strijd voor de tweede plaats.
Dankjewel.
Podium presentation in Namur for the UCI Cyclo-cross World Cup Elite Women.
À l'issue de cette manche sur la Coupe du Monde ici à Namur, Dame Élite. À la 3e place, représentant le Pays-Bas, Lucinda Brandt.
Lucinda Brandt not satisfied with her third place. It's been a while since we've seen Lucinda unhappy on a podium. She's just questioning that last run into the finish. Second place for Puck Peters. Peters last time here finished in third, second place this time. The last time she was here, she was in 5th place. This time, Alvarado dominates in Namur.
De bien vouloir également remettre les fleurs, les félicitations à ces 3 lauréates. Et attention, aujourd'hui donc Céline Del Carmen Alvarado, grâce à sa démonstration, conforte plus que jamais.
There's our podium in Namur.
Au classement de cette Coupe du Monde. Et nous allons demander donc à Monsieur Pierre-Yves Giolet de bien vouloir s'avancer et aider donc la sympathique Céline Del Carmen Alvarado à enfiler ce beau maillot qu'elle espère ramener définitivement d'ici quelques semaines.
Alvarado pulls on the World Cup leaders jersey again, opens up her lead even further. And now for the national anthem. National anthem of the Netherlands. There's our podium today. Smile on the face now of Lucinda Brandt.
La meilleure des bières sur le marché, la bière Quarmont, à déguster évidemment avec modération. Bravo en tout cas, merci à Quarmont.
As always in Namur, pretty big beer for Céline Del Carmen Alvarado. There's our top 3 after a thrilling finish for second and third. There was no doubt about the winner in today's race.
Voilà donc merci à ces 3 concurrentes et nous allons maintenant vous proposer la seconde cérémonie protocolaire. Oh là là, Céline Del Carmen Alvarado, ça va pas être rien.
All smiles from our top three today at the finish and a little celebration.
Merci en tout cas, mesdemoiselles. Bravo encore à Céline Del Carmen, bravo à Puc et à Uchilda, un nouveau triplé néerlandais donc ici sur l'esplanade de la...
And as always, the selfie on the stage, which will be on social media later.
Merci à M. Pierre Rigolet, merci à M. Donimont, merci à la suite des sports. Mesdames, messieurs, nous vous proposons maintenant...
Let's take a look at the result. Just to remind you, after 51 minutes and 57 seconds, Alvarado took the win ahead of Peters and Brand. There's the rest of the top 10. Here's the standings now. Alvarado extends her advantage with 75 points of a lead on Brand. Manon Bakker in third, Inge van der Heide in fourth place. Time to celebrate now. Press conference and everything else to do. Thanks very much for joining us for round 8 of the UCI Cyclo-cross World Cup for women. We'll be back with the men's race. Join us then. Bye for now.